Finally, Elysian has released something that is affordable, or I should say something that the common man like ourselves can realistically save up to eventually purchase without completely destroying our household. Hey friends, Tim here, welcome back to another video on Thieaudio. Today we have a review of the Elysian Pilgrim, the cheapest IEM from Elysian right now, but don't let the price fool you. This thing is, I'll say this right now, as good as the Gaea. It really is that good. Like, the price doesn't really convey the quality that it has. If you have listened to the Gaea before and you like the technical performance, you like the energetic vibe that the Gaea has, this thing is basically the Gaea, but more tamed in the signature, not as energetic, but keeping a lot of the same technical prowess that the Gaea has. Incisiveness and crispiness in each note, dynamics in the bass, tactility across the board. You find all those qualities in the Pilgrim, just as you find it in the Gaea. One more thing before we get into review, I actually filmed a short interview with the Thieaudio and Elysian people at CanJam Singapore. I was going to put it in the CanJam video, but I didn't know where it would easily fit, and that video was getting long anyway, so it was cut. So I'm just gonna add it in here, so enjoy.
Hello everybody, my name is Jordan from Thieaudio, and today we'll be showcasing the Pilgrim and Pilgrim Noir. This is a pure Elysian product, and then this is actually a collaboration between Thieaudio and Elysian. So the difference between these two products is that you're gonna get a little bit more highs, a little bit brighter sound, and then this will be a little bit more warmer, and in terms of the mids, it's more fuller. So what happens is actually for the drivers, we maintain the same amount of driver count. So there will be a 1 DD and 3 BAs. It's just that for the normal Pilgrim, it will be 2 for the highs, and whereas for the Pilgrim Noir, it will be 2 for the mids. So you're gonna get that little bit of difference in sound, and different customers has different preferences. So I think both of them will be able to fit a right variety of preferences. For the Pilgrim Noir, one thing is that we will be matching it with Thieaudio's Eros S. So that is a mini flagship from our signature series that contains both copper and silver materials, and it will come with a custom sleeve. So the one that you're seeing right now is just a prototype. So when it comes, it will be with the Eros S. So it looks pretty similar to this, just that everything will be in matte black, and then to match the shell as well. Alright, so this is actually the final design for Pilgrim, and then Pilgrim Noir is actually 3D printed right now because it's just a prototype, but the final form will be the same stainless steel material in matte black. So this one, the normal Pilgrim will come at $399 USD, and then Pilgrim Noir will be at $799 USD. For the extra $400, you're gonna get the custom Eros S cable and also a luxurious carrying case as well.
What type of sound signature it is? Who might this be for?
Yeah, so definitely both of them will still carry that same Elysian house sound, that very beautiful mid-highs. This will be for customers that prefer slightly brighter tonality. This will be for customers that prefer slightly warmer tonality. So I would say both pop song works really well. This one, you want to get a little bit more grit, so maybe more rock and more metal probably, and then for this will be slightly more on maybe classical, but definitely they can both work on many music genres.
For the Pilgrim IEM, we came up with an idea that we want an IEM for the masses, so that people could afford like Elysian tuning at a very reasonable price point, and it has to sound good and catchy at the same time. Initially, we did not think about the name yet, so we came up with an IEM. And we tried with a lot of drivers combination, we tried with different tuning, and we tried to ask some of our customers, other potential customers, regarding on the kind of music they like to listen to and what kind of music that people are listening to right now. So we come up with a tuning of a Pilgrim that is very suitable for pop music, J-pop, K-pop, any modern like EDM, because these are kind of music that people who buys entry-level IEM, they would like to listen to. And we were thinking about the name for this IEM. Our team came up with 3 names. I forgot what was the 2 names because the moment I saw the name Pilgrim, it was so catchy that this has to be it. Because it means that it's the beginning of a journey, it's the beginning of the Elysian journey. So you have to start somewhere. So when you start a journey, it's called a pilgrimage. It's a journey towards what you believe in.
During the process of R&D, we noticed that Pilgrim has a lot more potential. And as Thieaudio, 15 years of experiences, we know our customer better. So we know our Thieaudio audience, what are they looking for. So after that, we find out, okay, can we do something more on the Pilgrim? So that's where that we start with the further development. I would say the second stage of the Pilgrim development, we come up with a Pilgrim Noir. On the other hand, Lee is super potential. I mean, he's super talented, and he can really do what we require to do and what our customer need, just with simple instructions. He knows very well. So we easily come up with another variation, the Pilgrim Noir, which is more for effect audio audience.
We are back with the review of the Pilgrim. Let's jump into the sound signature, starting with the bass. The bass here is dynamic, is punchy, is thumpy. It has all the good qualities that you want in a bass. My only nitpick for it is that it's not enough. I want 1 or 2 dB more bass for my personal taste. I would say that if you like a more balanced out sounding bass, like the bass is not overly boosted, you want it to be more natural sounding, naturally boosted, then you'll have no problem with the Pilgrim at all. You'll love the bass quality that this thing can deliver. The people who might have a little bit of issue is the bass head camp. The people who want extra bass, the extra boom. The Pilgrim is not gonna quite have that for you. It's more balanced out and neutral bass. But the overall quality is great, is clean as well, so it doesn't bleed into a lower mid-range without being too clean like Harman style targets where it gets recessed or scooped or anything like that. It still retains a natural transition from the bass to the lower mids, if you will. On to the mid-range, I would say is very well done, has a bit of extra thickness in the vocals, if you will, so vocals are more center image. Both male vocals and female vocals sound good. They don't sound thin, shouty, honky in any way at all. They sound rather natural. It's just that they're put more in the center. They are the star of the show. The timbre of instruments and vocals sound largely natural with a hint or a touch of being a bit grainy, and that has to do with how the treble is done. The treble is boosted a little bit beyond normal, I guess. That contributes to a bit of that graininess, but it's not too much at all. It's just a bit of flavor, you can say. It adds to the overall energetic vibe of the Pilgrim. On to the treble, and this is the cream of the crop, the chef's kiss of this IEM. The treble is so darn good. It is incisive, it's nuanced, it's detailed, it's just everything you want in a treble. And this kind of treble are normally fine in endgame IEMs or more expensive IEMs, you can say, like the Gaea, the Diva. I would say the Annihilator still has better treble than the Pilgrim, so it's not dethroned in any case. But the Pilgrim and the Gaea have pretty much the same treble quality, which is nuts because the Gaea is like $1,300 and the Pilgrim is only $400. It is one of the best treble you can find on the market, and I'm surprised you're finding it at $400. And speaking of treble, we have to now move on to technical performance. Of course, let's bring up my scale right here. This thing lands way above the Blessing 3. Again, not Annihilator level, but it is pretty up there. It is amongst the end games, amongst the expensive IEMs. The Pilgrim is just a very technical sounding IEM. Every note hit sounds very crispy, tactile, it sounds high definition. It's the wow factor of this IEM through and through. And though it does trade a little bit of smoothness, a bit of naturalness to achieve this, it didn't sacrifice too much that it starts to sound unnatural. It sacrificed those qualities very tastefully to allow these highly technical elements to exist. Now on to the comparison segment. I have a few IEMs. Let's start up with Studio 4. Now Studio 4 is my beloved IEM. I love that thing. It's so hard to nitpick the Studio 4 for me because it just sounds great across the board. Good technical performance, smooth sounding, great vocals, and bass, although a bit too little for me, is still good quality bass. I would say if you're looking for something more natural, then the Studio 4 is still that choice. But if you're looking for something more wowing, a bit more energy, a bit more tactility, then the Pilgrim would be the better choice. In terms of details, the Pilgrim just straight up wins. It's just better. Next is the Hype 4. Now the Hype 4 is an overall good IEM. It has good extension in the treble, it has nice clean separated bass without being too lean as well. There's not much that I can nitpick with the Hype 4. It is a very neutral, normal sounding set with very little flaws. I would say I like the Hype 4 a little bit better in the bass because it has more bass. Not that the bass quality is better, Bass quality, I would give it to the Pilgrim, but in real life listen, that extra bit of quantity really helps in the Hype 4. Now where I like the Pilgrim more is in the treble area, the timbre, and the technical performance. Even though both IEMs have quite a bit of treble, I feel like the Pilgrim handles it better. It doesn't have as much graininess in the timbre as on the Hype 4. Now I just say that these differences in timbre quality is like very minute. The Hype 4 doesn't sound much grainier than on the Pilgrim, nothing like that. They're both pretty much on equal terms, but I would say that the Pilgrim sounds slightly bit more natural than on the Hype 4. Timbre-wise. Now when it comes to sheer levels of details, the technical performance, the Pilgrim just annihilates everything under $500. Easily. And last but not least, we have the Moondrop X Crinacle Dusk. Now this one's a little bit hard to compare because it has many different tunings, so I'm just gonna focus on the analog and the DSP. Now when it comes to bass, I like the DSP tuning the most. Second is the Pilgrim, and third is the analog. When it comes to vocals and timbre quality overall, I would say the DSP is number 1, second would be the Pilgrim, and the third would be the analog. Treble-wise, I would say Pilgrim number 1, DSP number 2, and analog number 3. And technical performance-wise, I would say Pilgrim number 1 easily, and the DSP and the analog is in the same spot at number 2. Alright, that's it for my review of the Pilgrim. I'll give it a big green thumbs up with a grade of A+. Highly technical sounding IEM, satisfying to listen to overall, and competes really well, not just within its peers, but with more expensive IEMs as well. So yes, good job Elysian. Thank you so much for finally releasing something that people can afford. And yeah, with all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Bye.